Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hesitation Station podcast. We hope you are having a wonderful day. And I am Jay, along with my co-host Tank. That way, yeah. Hey, buddy.
Hola, mi amigo.
Hola, mi amigos. You gotta do that later to it.
That's the extent. Hola.
Hola. Anyway, today we have we got two special guests on today. Dude, have you ever wondered, like, can you imagine Pain from Naruto being like, I will show the world pain, and then being like, you know what? I don't know how to fight Naruto, so I need some help. So have you ever wondered what that would be like?
Yeah, that's he could go to HR.
Yeah,
or it'd be like he could call a hotline.
right. So you know what? I think we're gonna get these guys on. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mr. Chris and Levi from Villain Support.
Oh, snap.
Everybody.
Hey
guys.
How's it going?
Oh,
Going well. How are you guys?
Good, good. So yeah, y'all guys are villain support, meaning that if something that a villain is fighting, y'all pretty much help it out, right? Or help them.
Chris does.
Try
Levi is hero support.
Oh, he
Not
is.
hero support.
You're not here.
Oh.
Support?
You change?
I am member solutions. Levi am member solutions.
Oh, okay.
I don't use the tagline very often, and the reason is because when you hear member solutions, you don't think hero and villain right away.
Yeah.
You think
Fair.
regular customer service. But I essentially help heroes and villains, but mostly heroes because I'm better at it.
He's Deadpool. he's Deadpool. So I got a couple questions for you guys. First off, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've never heard of you guys until Tank showed me you guys. And so
I am a big fan.
I'm not mad at what you guys have done. You guys made me laugh a couple times, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, Chris, you said before we started that you were the one to come up with this. What made you come up with this? Like, what?
So it's how much do you guys want the long story? Or do you want the short story?
We got nothing but
We'll
time.
go with whatever you feel.
Okay, so the long story is 12 years ago now, I had the idea of how funny would it be if when the Death Star blew up, Darth Vader called someone to be like, hey, it blew up, what do I do? And I actually had a 12-minute YouTube video that was out there that's long gone. Good, which is good because it was bad. But that idea had always bounced around in my head. And when COVID started, I perform improv here in Greenville, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And the improv theater shut down. And I was looking for a creative outlet. I talked to some of the other people in the improv theater, and we talked about the idea of doing a podcast, basically like a podcast talking about villains and doing sketches about helping villains in like a customer service role. That fizzled out, and then I found TikTok, and I was like, "Ooh, I can probably do a minute-long video of this thing." And so the first video I posted was in the role of kind of like an insurance rep almost, just being like, hey, this is John from Acme Villain Support. I'd like to speak to Mr. Vader, please. Yeah, I'll hold. And then he came on, and I just tell him that, we can't pay out on the Death Star insurance policy because the proton torpedo was a known vulnerability, and they did not buy the optional exhaust port covers, and just turning them down. And I was like, all right, it's out of my system. It's posted. I'm done. That's cool. No one's going to see it. I woke up the next morning to 12,000 views, 1,200 followers, and hundreds of comments begging me to do more. So I did. And 3.5 years later, there's 500,000 people following us across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Early on, a lot of people were like, can I play a role in this? And I was like, sure. Like, this is just a fun thing we're doing. Come on, jump in. Probably had, at its peak, 20 people actively making content. Levi jumped in as member solutions, kind of taking an angle of he works with everybody and not necessarily just on like support issues, but just anything that they need help with. It's a lot of it's turned into support issues that he calls, and he can explain more of that when you talk to him. But as we expanded off of TikTok, a lot of the other creators really didn't follow us to other platforms, at least not as actively, and it became impossible to pay the attention that I was paying to that group on TikTok across all the platforms, especially because TikTok wasn't paying anything until 6 months ago, and once it began getting monetized, the situation changed. It's like, okay, this is no longer just a fun thing that I'm doing. This is turning into like an income stream. And the monetization was mainly on YouTube and Facebook, and that's where I focused most of my time as a result, because that's where the money was coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. So the follow-up question to that is I actually looked at your guys' Facebook. Yeah, right now you guys are at like 151K followers.
Yep.
Did y'all ever think that would ever happen?
No. The account sat at grew pretty quickly to about 20,000 and then just stayed there for like 5 months. And then I started doing the Borg versus videos. I did the Borg versus I don't remember who the first one was, but the videos of like helping the Borg, who are this insanely competent evil race from an evil enemy from Star Trek. The idea, I said Trek. The idea that
Star Trek.
The idea that the Borg would actually be calling somebody behind the scenes asking for help, I thought was hilarious, and a lot of other people did do. And the account grew from like 20,000 to like 58 in about 2 months, and then it fizzled again, and then it grew to like 62, and then I did Kevin from Home Alone versus the Predators, and it was a call with the Predators, not child predators, but the Yautja, the Predators from the Predator movie, and that blew up. That was my first million view video, and then I did the Predator series, and that grew the account to like 120,000, and that's right about when Levi actually got monetized on Facebook before I did, and was like, you need to be posting your stuff on Facebook. And I'm like, cool. So I started doing that, and then we started the YouTube channel together, and that's when it really began blowing up across all the channels. And we went from 120,000 on TikTok to 250,000 across everything very quickly. YouTube, we hit 100,000 in just under a year.
If I want to make one correction, timeline's a little bit wonky. It was YouTube together first, and we blew up on YouTube. Yeah, it was.
Okay,
it was YouTube first together.
Good. Right, but does the timeline matter as opposed to like what's going on?
Well, the way it works when it came to like how when you were blowing up and everything, every platform, which was this is the one thing that I wanted to point out, it was different. That was what was cool, and at the same time showed just the differences between the platforms. So on YouTube, it was the Predator series that took off first. On Facebook, like he said, it was the Borg series that took off. And the stuff that we posted on YouTube was getting posted over there separately from Facebook, and then eventually was brought over to Facebook. So even though they took off separately, they still blew up on every platform, just at different times. Same thing with TikTok. You know, things would blow up there, but they wouldn't hit there. And when we condensed everything all aligned, that's when we noticed everything starting to go up together, almost uniform, which was really cool. But you'll still have that periodic video that goes, I'm going to blow up over here, but I'm going to fizzle out over here.
Yeah.
We I don't, at least knock on wood, because I don't know yet, but we have not blown up yet keyword. And you know, we still strive for what we know, and we still strive for what we think is good and good content, you know. With you guys, y'all seem like y'all have like this. I guess like with me and Tank, we have this chemistry because we've been buddies forever. That leads me into my next question: how did y'all guys meet? Are y'all guys best buds, or did y'all just?
We met randomly on TikTok.
Really?
I live in South Carolina. Levi's in Utah. We probably never would have met otherwise.
Wow, that's crazy. But y'all guys have like this funny chemistry thing. Like you're talking to somebody. Chris is over here talking to somebody, and you're like, "Yeah, just hold on 1 second." Click. Levi, are you talking to this guy in spandex and stuff like that?
Well, one of my favorite ones that y'all have done. I don't know if it's our most recent one. It's the magical frog and the shiny man. That shit was hilarious. Grogu and Mando.
Mandalorian.
When
yeah.
Yalja
Okay.
kidnapped fucking Grogu.
Yes.
That was.
Do you want to know?
Put a better padlock on it.
You want to know the irony of that video?
Yeah.
That was a video request from my kiddo. So they kept asking. I was like, "Can you do the Predator, this one, with Grogu?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll finally do it." And then while we were while I was trying to figure it out, we were live, and then we were struggling, and then I went to bed that night. Woke up, had an idea, shot it to Chris, and Chris was like, "Oh, I can run with this." Then we went live the next day, or the day after. I don't remember when timeline was, but we just made the whole thing as it is now. And my kiddo was super excited to sit there and watch me do it and everything. And
oh yeah,
there's not a whole lot of those that we do for requests for them because some of them, it just won't work. But it's really awesome when I can and put that out there for my kids.
One of the craziest things is that most of our best ideas have not been our ideas. They've been suggestions from a kid, from audience, etc. That's all, and that's totally what it's been. And it's like, when we were doing the, you've seen the Deadpool versus the Borg saga, right?
Yeah.
When we were doing that, like we had the whole thing planned out. Like this is great, etc. We finished episode 2, and some of the comments, I was like, Levi, look at this, and he's like, oh, I'm like, that's such a better idea. Let's scrap what we got and just let them drive this, but not let them know they're driving this. And so the whole thing was the audience, and the comments that got the most views, that we liked the most, etc., are the ones we looked at. And it was like people would be like, "Oh man, and I bet this is what happens next." And I'm like, "That is what I want to happen next." So that's what's happening next, because that's such a better idea than what I had.
Y'all guys would make this fan happy if y'all did like a Naruto one, because obviously I'm Naruto obsessed.
We have.
What
you have?
We've done a bunch of Naruto stuff.
How dare you?
Not
show me, Tank.
The Predators versus Orochimaru, the Predators versus Kakashi were two of the best performing ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, Tank showed me the Borg one. He showed me the Deadpool versus Predator. He showed me the Home Alone. He never showed me the Naruto ones.
I'm not going to show you everything. You have to find stuff on your own, sir.
There's 3.5 years worth of stuff sitting there that, like, Levi would be like, "We should remake this," and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "This video." I'm like, "I don't remember that video," and he's like, "It's this one," and it's like from like a year and a half ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I did like that one.
I don't know if he does that either. I'll wake up and I'll see a notification on a really old video of mine on TikTok, like a super old one that I've remade for YouTube or that I haven't remade at all. I'll be like, "Oh, I remember when we did that, when we were jumping back and forth." I'll go look and I'll be like, "Oh, we didn't remake that, and we can do so much better now."
And do y'all do remakes?
Oh, yeah.
Periodically, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It depends on how long it's been, though. Like, we have played with the idea of remaking the Deadpool series, some of our Chronicles and stuff like that. And what we do is we ask ourselves, can we remake it at a quality that would make a difference from what it was, more than just like an audio and video perspective, right? If it can be more than 50% different from video, audio, timing, everything like that, it makes sense to remake it. Unfortunately for the Deadpool saga, I don't think that one's going to get remade anytime soon. Same thing with Samara. Those were made within the last year.
Mm-hmm.
That it'd be hard to remake them in a way that it would be worthwhile to put back out there and be like, hey.
And some of that stuff, like we look at it, we're like the video, the quality is so bad, the audio isn't good, but like the video itself is like so little to improve upon that trying to make it better would probably make it worse.
Yeah, I understand.
I have a perfect example that's current right now of where I don't know if it's dropped yet. No, it did. The Autobots one, or the no, not the Autobots. The Dementors versus Soul Food. That one would be a better example. The take that I went with isn't the take that I necessarily wanted to go with, and the reason why was because the inflections and the timing of when I changed accents and everything in that video, I do not believe I could mimic it in a way, even with rewriting the jokes and everything, at the points that would be funny. That video was funny, and it's good because I hit those points naturally, and trying to do them on purpose in specific points is very difficult, and then trying to decide which points they need to be at.
Yeah. And like some of the videos we've done, some of the best comedy in it is the reactions that were just completely natural, normal reactions. Because a lot of this is just like improvised and just leaving gaps for what we think they're saying in our own heads and then going on from there. And sometimes like the gut the just natural reaction of like that makes the video. And trying to do that on purpose is so extremely hard to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of it, like with some of the stuff that we do, it's, to me, it's like the more natural it is, the better reaction you'll get from the outside sources. Like you can always tell 100%. When somebody's just forcing or it doesn't seem as genuine, and you don't get the reaction that you want if you have to force it.
No, not at all.
I get a lot of people that comment on my laughter that I do in a lot of my videos. And I've had a couple comments where they're like, why does this sound so genuine? And the thing is the reason it sounds genuine, and I've kept some of my outtakes, is because I'm thinking of the funny thing. To me, it's funny as it's happening. Or like if I'm trying to do a specific scene for Chris, for example, like he needs me to laugh at something, but like it's not that I don't find the rest of the video, I'm not playing those parts, so it's a lot harder to be like, okay, so what I'll do is I'll pretend if I have Chris's lines in front of me, I'll read Chris's lines, I'll laugh at them, and I'll build myself up until I get that more natural laugh. Or if I'm struggling with it, I've had points where I've had to redo a video so many times I get frustrated with the scene that I have to think of something else entirely while trying to remember it. The perfect example of redoing a scene way too many times was during the Samara Chronicles, where I kept mispronouncing her name. I did that.
Samira over and over and over again. And he'd have an incredible take, and I'm like, I love it. You said her name wrong again. He's like, damn it.
So, going back to what y'all said about remaking videos and how it could affect it or not, we're going through kind of the same thing right now because I locked us out of our old TikTok. So yeah, we had to make a new one. So now I'm slowly putting on more stuff, or like a lot of our old stuff now. But see, the difference with it now is that I know how to do a lot more editing, a lot more stuff, a lot more transitions and things like that compared to when we first started, where I didn't know anything. And now I'm making so much more better videos. Like I showed him one yesterday. He's like, I fucking love that. So, I mean, you know, sometimes it's good to go back to the basics and
absolutely.
Yeah, I was dreading it. I'm not gonna lie, but I made a new video which I have to send to you later. But I made a new video and I thoroughly love it. You know,
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean,
so
I've as far as remakes go, I've remade that original video 3 or 4 times,
mhm,
and none of them have done particularly well.
I understand.
Like, if
So
you compare his original video, his newest version that's longer, and as a fan of his, um, this is really funny, but as a fan of his, I go, I like this video. This is good. But it doesn't have the magic of that first video. It's really hard to capture
Yeah.
some of those. And there are plenty of examples on our channel. One of the ones that there's 2 videos I probably won't ever remake at all that I can tell you off the top of my head. The first one is The Wizard is Swole. It's a stitch of a guy lifting a hammer and I'm playing a DM.
Yeah.
It's a really funny video. There are 2 problems with remaking that one. One is I cannot mimic those reactions in any shape, form, or way because I was on my medication when I filmed that video. And I didn't expect it to do well, and it was super funny. I come back to it, I'm like, there's no way I can remake that. The quality is never going to get better, and I'm going to have to live with that. And the second video was a drama video, which is called Lost Child on the channel. And I can't remake that one because that one had me breaking down by like the 7th take.
Remember that?
And even though it did really well, it's done well every time I've posted it, it's still like, it's a very crappy looking video. And the reason why is because it was filmed on like a Galaxy S9 camera. So it's not going to get better. And I've been asked, can you remake this so it looks better? And I've just straight up told them, I was like, no. That is me thinking of my children not being alive. I don't like being in that mindset. Yeah. And then it's also me thinking about what my life was as a child myself. And it's so hard to remake some of those. And the same thing for the comedy videos. There's just a handful of videos out there that no matter what you do, you're not going to make them better, and you just have to accept it.
That's some good
there's a lot to be said when you do content, whether it's a video or music or poetry or what have you. Yeah, as time goes by, it's nice to redo it and, re-up the audio or update the visuals or whatever, but there's always going to be that small handful of videos that hit you in the heart or hit you in the feels hard that you're like, yeah, the audio or video or whatever may not be the best quality, but the reactions and the feelings you get from it are so genuine that if you tried to update it, you'd lose that in the process. Yeah. And when you have to come to that crossroad, like you said, I personally believe it's better to just leave it as is. I'd rather put out a video or a music or a story or whatever that people can feel versus just be like, oh, that's great audio or the video effects were awesome. Because you get more people when you put out a story that they can understand and it vibes with them.
That's fair.
I feel super stupid right now. Go ahead.
You said you said what?
I've got this.
Oh,
in my head. And I've been trying to on my screen.
I'm trying not to kill
30 seconds now, and then I move my head and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, that's on me.
It's on me. Well, that's like mine's fucking shiny as hell.
Yeah, mine is too.
No matter where I go.
Levi's like, hey, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I actually have the same problem if I have my overhead light. And it's what I use to get my lighting to be uniform. But you'll notice I wear the hat almost all the time, and that's the reason why is my hair is red. And it will cause a similar shine to you guys, but instead of it shining down and even, I look like I have a damn halo above me. You guys have a spot. I have a dang halo, and it shows in my screen, and it goes across my face too. It ruins the whole take. I've had takes where I forget to wear my hat, and I have that light on, and I don't have the neutralizing stuff going, and it's a perfect take, 100%. It's amazing, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, I can't see half my face.
Levi, listen, man. We know that's not true. We know you don't have a halo because you're redhead, which means you don't have a soul. So,
hey, I'm only partially redhead.
It's an honorary halo.
It's an honorary guy.
It's funny to me just talking about it in general, like good takes and stuff. Is Levi and I have agreed with each other that we're going to be bluntly honest when it comes to videos. And there's so many times that one of us will have an incredible take, but we'll get a detail wrong or just a glaring mistake in the video. And it's like, that was so good, but you have to redo it because you said this and that's not going to work. And they're like, what? Rewatch it? Oh, you're right. Okay.
One of the things I absolutely love is a lot of the Doctor Who videos that we've made have gone really, really well. Mm-hmm. And there's a video that exists on the platforms where I'm taking credit for Chris making people angry in specific areas of those videos. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I wrote that. I wanted him to say this. Like, he would say this thing. I'd be like, it would be so much funnier if you said it like this. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because it's what a new Whovian fan would do. They would make this mistake. And we did a whole series like that. We had, I think, like 5 or 6 videos where it was very specific points of things that new Who fans would make a mistake or make an assumption. And I'd be like, you need to include this joke here. And he would send me the video like this, and I'd be like, tweak it like this. And that's that back and forth and that honesty that we have with each other to call each other out on videos has been an issue, but it's also been one that has driven us to make better videos. And we know each other's mindsets. We will try to defend some of our videos to each other sometimes.
Yep.
But then we have to take a step back and remember the reason why whichever one of us is telling the other person why they're saying that. Yeah. And it's interesting because I've seen people lose friendships for way less. And we've been able to work really well with it.
Yeah. Well,
it's required us to be willing to be open to hear what someone has to say, even if it's what we don't want to hear.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You can't grow if you don't accept it.
Correct. I can tell you right now, Tank and I are the exact same way. I'll send him a video that I think is fucking awesome, and he'll be like, no, you need to change this because it doesn't look good or something of the other. Or he'll send me a flyer, for a promotion, and I'll be like, no, that ain't it, Chief. Because, sometimes he'll put like the letters, they'll blend in with the colors of the flyer, and I'm like, you need to change this. And we never get mad about it. We understand each other. We have that honesty with each other as well. So,
you can't get better if you don't accept criticism.
Right.
Now, with that being said, there's a difference between getting helpful criticism and somebody just being a dick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've dealt with them before. So let me ask this. It's not about villain support. So instead, I want to ask about, first off, let's start with Chris.
Okay.
We want to know about Chris.
Like what specifically?
Anything. Share something that you want to share.
I hate talking about
He was born at a young age. He couldn't walk for the first couple years.
Yeah. I was born when I was 5, and I had to pretend until I know.
Wait a minute.
No. No.
He was a big baby.
So, let's see. So, my parents were both traveling musicians when I was born. I was born in Colorado, moved around a bunch, like the first year and a half of life. Grew up ended up in the Chicago area near my dad's family. Grew up there. I went to college in Eastern Iowa at a school called Cornell College, which is a one course at a time schedule, which I loved because it fit perfectly with my inability to focus on multiple things at a time. So the way that works is you have one class every 3.5 weeks. And then you have a 5-day break, and then another class, 5-day break, another class, 5-day break. And so your freshman year, you're doing a lot of your gen ed stuff. But when your gen eds are done with and you're into your major as a sophomore, junior, senior, if you're, I was an English major, but if you're English or if you're math, science, etc., you can just string all these classes together in that same major, and your whole year is nothing but that.
Yeah.
And your classes, depending on the class, it's either morning or afternoon or both. And then you've got reading to do and some work to do. But because the class is so short, you don't get all the busy work that you would get in a school where you've got a semester-long course, where they're like, Monday, hey, we're going to learn about this for an hour. I want you to do these 5 problem sets over the course of the next week and bring them back next week and remember what we talked about last week. And I'm like, my brain doesn't work that way. But you put me in an immersive situation where I'm focused on that for 18 straight days, and I learn it like this. And I feel like that is much more conducive and similar to the work world than a lot of schools, a lot of semester-long classes are.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like an awesome school, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that wasn't my college.
You ain't got to focus on 17 things at once and remember 42 over the next week.
Yep. That's what I loved about it. And then I lived in Iowa for 20 years. I moved to South Carolina in 2019, and I've been here since.
All right. You play any instruments?
No, I come from a very musical family. I'm the non-musical one. I feel that. Plays guitar and drums. My mom plays drums and saxophone and violin. My dad played trumpet, piano, drums, guitar, could basically play anything. My uncle is a musical, loves music too. And I'm the one that's good at listening to all of them.
That's a good skill to have.
Yeah.
He said, I just listen. Okay, so Levi, let's hear about you.
So I have to ask this because my life was much different. How real do you want to get?
Well,
that is entirely up to you.
Yeah, it's entirely up to you. I mean, you could just tell us what your favorite food is if you feel comfortable with that. I mean, we don't. Yeah.
Chris is over there like, what the hell?
No, there's videos that exist on the channel, and the fan base is aware of some of the stuff I've been through. So I have no problem being real. First 17 years of my life were a living hell. And it sucked. I come from an abusive situation in multiple facets. I was in foster care. I've been in and out of group homes. I had a lot of bad things happen to me that should never happen to anyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your point is on life. I don't care what you've done. There are things that shouldn't happen to any human being. And so I come from that. So when I was making content, my original thing that I wanted to do was this feel good content because my spouse is like, I think you'd like TikTok. Right? And so I get on there, and one of the first videos I see is a video that's about not giving up. And a lot of my feed was like that. A lot of my feed's been like that. And it's kind of how I wind up getting into Chris and meeting and everything. And it's been interesting going from the life that I had all the way to where I am now. And honestly, I'm really grateful for it. So, I went to Job Corps. That was my college, and I had a lot of fun there. Learned a lot of different things, matured in a way that I hadn't had a chance to, and hitchhiked across the U.S. During the time of this. This is an interesting story. During the time of the Craigslist kill it, and I used Craigslist to hitchhike.
Oh,
I was in the same area.
all right.
Okay. So
That's a hell of a walk to be taken.
I didn't even know it until like years later when I heard about the story, and I'm like, when did it happen? And I see the timeline of like the 2006-ish, 5-ish, whatever. Basically, right when I got out of Job Corps and I needed to move and everything, and I was just like, oh, okay. Well, where was it at? And I see where he went, and I'm like, oh man, things could have gotten way different. But made it to Utah eventually, and where I met my spouse, I met him online, and now we're here. I've got kids. I'm on TikTok making content. I never thought my life would be what it is now, and I'm really happy that it is. I'm really happy that all the hobbies that I gave up have kind of convalesced into what I'm doing now, which was really cool too. Chris mentioned that he likes he's the non-musical one. I like music, but I can't read sheets. Everyone in my house is able to actually play an instrument. I kind of go, I can play it. I just can't read the thing that I'm playing.
I mean, look, I can touch instruments and make them make noise. It's not good noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
I play drums. I've been playing drums for about 20 years now, give or take. I still suck at it, but I can still play it. The only
you don't suck at it. Don't believe his ass.
The only thing that I guess that I can say I'm proud of with playing drums is that I can usually hear a song, and once I get the beat and once I know how many beats they're doing, like they're doing 3 or 2 or whatever, once I get that down, I can start playing what they're playing. So that's about the only, I guess, brag I can tell you. So
yeah, that's cool.
But I try for the most part. I try to stay humble with it because I don't want to go up to somebody like you guys and be like, oh yeah, I can play drums. Yeah, and then get on the freaking drums and sound like a ape hitting bongos.
You know, that's when I play.
Yeah, well,
I can play video games. Does that count?
Not very well, but it's okay.
I can play Guitar Hero.
The same thing. Yeah.
Play Guitar Hero.
I can't even.
I'm not that good at it.
Oh, I shredded on that thing.
Hey, can you play Elden Ring?
Can I play Elden Ring?
Yeah. Give me a football.
I can. I don't like it. I have arthritis, and a lot of those type of games I don't like after a while. Mm-hmm. Like I'll enjoy the first little bit of them, and then you'll die.
A lot. You'll die a lot.
Elden Ring.
I can play DDR.
Yeah. Elden Ring is the game that said Dark Souls isn't hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Elden Ring.
Elden Ring's that game that makes you hate life in 5 minutes.
I like playing crafting games and stuff
Joke's
like
on
that.
you.
I played Ark Survival Evolved quite a bit, Destiny quite a bit, Year One. I
love Ark.
Am I allowed to do a little bragging about a couple of those
Go
games?
for it.
Of course, dude.
On Halo,
No.
During Halo 4, Halo 4, during the contest, they were doing a contest, right? Mm-hmm. And in order to win the truck and all that stuff, I was in the top 500.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
for quite a while, and it actually became an issue because in order to maintain that / grow, you had to spend a lot of time, and we had a 2-year-old at the time. So the reason why I stopped was because of that. One of the things I really loved was I was really good with snipers, and I held 2 weeks in a row #1 on the sniper contest. And that's against millions of people playing. I was like, yeah. On Destiny, year 1, I was one of the first, I think it was 5 teams. I gotta go find the achievement again. That completed the Vault of Glass. I was actually at a certain point helping people go through it and learning the glitches and where to sit and what to do in order to push them off, so on and so forth. And then in Ark Survival Evolved, I played a lot of Ark to the point of becoming part of the Mega Tribe and so on and so forth, and had a lot of fun with those games. And if you were to say, "Hey, would you like to play them again?" I'd be like, "I don't think you understand the amount of hours I put into those games. I really don't want to go back and not start from scratch." It's just like it's when you craft or make anything, you spend hours. What's he doing?
All right, I'm back. So
I know what he got. Before he goes on his tangent,
I will tell them.
I have to agree. I'm not telling him.
Okay.
I have to agree about the love for Ark. I've put a minimum of 1,200 or more hours on Ark between Steam and PlayStation. I still have it on PlayStation. I just don't have anybody to play with.
I tried to play with them, but every time I got on with Tank, it was like, "Hey guys, how do I play?" And then they're like,
I got too involved in it.
Yeah, Jay, he's like, "Jay, look at my T-Rex I got, or look at this pterodactyl, or whatever the hell it's called." And I'm like, "What do I do?"
Look, when they came out with Ark, I had no interest in it at first because it reminded me of like just an updated version of Minecraft. And then they told me that you could ride a T-Rex with a shotgun. And I said, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." And just dived into it, and I regret nothing.
I regret everything. So if we're gonna brag, we went to a Comic-Con. It was called Preserve Halloween, hosted by our friends over at Humble, and they had a Naruto tournament. Yeah. So I decided to enter in, and I got this little thing right here, this little achievements, if y'all can see it.
It's too shiny.
So was it like the Naruto, the card game? Or
no, it's
the video game.
Yep. Video game. It's Ultimate Ninja Storms Connections. So the prize was they gave me some money, but I felt really accomplished for winning my first tournament, so I actually went off and got this made for myself because I was very happy. So, and it wasn't, it's even got my gamer tag right here, and I was happy with it. I was proud of it. So
Moody Space Cow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's Moody now. It's no longer Space Cow. It's Moody Space Cow.
I said Moody.
Yeah.
Moody.
Get it?
There's a whole deal. He's Space Cow. I'm Space Duck. My wife's Space Bat, and his wife is Space Kitten. And it came off of Darth Vader. There's this it was me, him, and our buddy Will. We were playing games one night, and the topic turned to Star Wars. And out of nowhere, it was, so what happens if they're in the Death Star and they're going light speed? Vader's on the bridge, and while they're going, out of nowhere, a fucking duck just go whack, and they crash into the duck, and it's just duck all over the windshield. And then I became Space Duck, and it spiraled out of control.
What he's not telling you is
we have tattoos.
Yeah, but what he's not
I have
telling
a duck
you,
with a space helmet.
I have a cow with a space helmet. But what he's not telling you is, can you imagine just going up to Vader and be like, Lord Vader, we hit a duck. We
What?
a what? A space
We're in
duck?
light speed. How'd you hit a duck? I don't know.
Don't know. You just have to explain to the Overlord.
Like, Palpatine's gonna be pissed, but
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do.
Speaking of Star Wars, how much do you believe, Chris? How much do you believe of Darth Jar Jar?
I mean, I've got the picture,
Yeah.
and apparently he's being made canon-ish in the new Lego movie.
Yeah.
Really?
I saw that, dude. I'm excited. Misa gonna hurt you so really bad.
I love the idea, the unexplored idea that the first guy they meet on Naboo is actually like Palpatine's master,
Yeah.
who's just like, I'm gonna take care of this, and don't worry, guys, I got it.
I mean, I tell people all the time that Jar Jar is the ultimate Sith Lord. And they're like, no, he's not. I'm like, listen, okay, he is. Because, number one, think about it for a second. He had every power, every intent that he could give Palpatine the title of Senate.
Yeah.
So he had the power to do it. He had the ropes, and guess who was always there when the Senates and the higher ups were around? Jar Jar. He was always around. Yeah, he was always around Padme. He was always around the Senate. And how come he had the power to appoint Palpatine? So it's just like, all right, man, hold on now. And then he just
plot twist. He's Darth Plagueis.
Oh God. And then he just, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he just disappears after episode 3. He's like, all right, my plans have worked. I'm good. Peace. That's what I'm saying. So, guys.
I like the idea, too, to be honest. The bumbling fool actually being, and I know that it's not a very widely used trope anymore. It used to be, right? Back old cartoons, you'd see the bumbling fool turns out to be this massively smart villain that was controlling the scene behind the scenes this whole time. And it was like early 90s cartoons and stuff like that. And I always thought that was really cool, because it was always along the lines of not everything you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you go back and look through all the movies, like Jay was saying, anytime something major happens, he's there. You know, like when the drones and the robots came down to invade Naboo, you know, he's in the mix of it, and he just wipes out a whole platoon because he accidentally unleashed all of the energy orbs.
Yep. I mean, think about, the fact that he was barely in episode 2 and 3. He was mainly in 1, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden he just shows up to cast that final vote for Naboo. Like, how? And here's the other thing, though. Like, did he was accepted by the Gungans, but he wasn't like reintegrated fully into their society. He was still an outcast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
At the end of, and all of a sudden he's the junior senator from Naboo.
Something's not adding up. I mean, even George Lucas was like, he loves the idea of Darth Jar Jar, is what he said. So, I mean, if the creator of the whole thing says, I like the idea, right?
Yeah.
I would love to agree with that. There's a lot of people who wouldn't, sadly. But the gray Jedi argument, the Jedi that stands on the middle of the line and everything like that.
Yep.
Lucas told the actors that that would be a thing, and the actors have come out and said that Lucas agrees to this. Lucas has himself, since no longer needing to worry about Disney and stuff, has said it, and a lot of the fan base, and I see it in the videos, I see it in the comments, going like, well, Lucas doesn't matter anymore, and Disney ruins it, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, it doesn't matter what fan base it is. If you want to boil it down, there's just going to be people who don't want a certain thing to happen to
Right.
their
Yeah.
is what it boils down to. So
I'm a big fan of the Grey Jedi. That's like I understand the Sith and I understand the Jedi, but in my opinion, the whole thing about balance is you dabble in both sides equally. You don't strongly sway to left or right. You find that common ground, that middle path, and you walk it the best you can. And I mean, from what I see, they even came out with a code for the Grey Jedi, like how the Sith has their code and the Jedi have theirs, and I don't know. I'm just a big fan of them.
Yeah, I mean, look at Ahsoka. She's a prime example of a Grey Jedi.
Yep.
And then, if you want to be technical, I know he was a Jedi, but look at Mace Windu. He learned dark side force, and light side, and he had it perfectly balanced. So he could technically be. If they brought Samuel L. Jackson back, they would make him a perfect Grey Jedi. Because I mean,
For sure.
yeah, they could do it. They could very easily, and he's even said he wanted to come back. But what are you laughing at?
I can just see him coming back like they do another Star Wars movie, and it's the big bad versus the big good, and he comes in the middle. He comes in the middle with his purple lightsaber, and you turn on the subtitles, and all it says is "stares motherfuckingly."
Jesus, that would be great. I would pay money to see that.
Or he goes to like some event where the Jedi have to hand over their lightsabers. He goes and he's like, "I need my lightsaber back." Well, which one's yours? The one that says "bad motherfucker" on it.
That would be great.
I love that.
So, Chris, Levi, do y'all guys want to share your socials where people can follow you guys?
Yep. Well, you can find both of us at Villain Support.
Okay. Both of them at
Villain. It's spelled VILLAIN and not IAN. Otherwise, you won't find it.
Okay. And I'll be tagging you guys in our promotion, so don't worry. They'll know where to find you. But just in case, I like to do that at the end of every episode.
Before we go,
are
there any hot topics either of you would like to discuss? Are there any burning matches? Any skits that you can give us insight to that may be coming out, or is there anything y'all want to?
There's one dropping in 20 minutes, based off of a fun meme about a demon trying to give a guy a freebie, and trying to basically let a guy out of a soul contract. Other than that, I mean, and obviously when people hear this, that video will be week old.
Long out.
The other ones would be the series that we have on the channel that are still actively being done. I do want to apologize that we didn't do a Stitch or a Constantine video last month. Things kind of ran away from us and that didn't happen. But those two series will be coming back. The Stitch one takes a lot longer to do. It's fully voice acted, and because of that, like it's also, these series are driven by the audience. We go live with the audience. We figure it out. Then if we have time, we record during that session. And so those will be out. So Constantine, Dresden, Stitch, the Borg, Replicators, the Predators.
Yes.
Look forward to all those in the next coming weeks.
I just saw the one where Optimus called. I was like, "I've got the replicons," and you're like, "Wait, what? No, that's replic." Oh shit!
The first joke that's in there was redone, and that was ReptarCon. You got that one?
Yeah, I got that one.
I was so happy when somebody made a comment on it, because I'll do niche jokes like that, sometimes really, really niche ones. And I just sit there and I wait, no matter how long it takes, for the one person that gets it and is like, yes! That's why I do it.
it made me think of like what if Reptar actually was a transformer in the Rugrats world?
The Wobats. Is that what you said? The Wobats.
Yeah, the Wobats.
Well, guys, we do appreciate you guys coming on.
Absolutely.
We had fun. I hope y'all guys had fun. And y'all guys are more than welcome to if y'all guys ever want to come back on. Our doors are always
yes.
open.
You two will always be welcome at the station.
It would be fun to revisit at some point.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'll tell y'all guys something after this, so we're gonna have to edit that out. But
All right.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, make sure you follow us on all of our platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on everywhere.
The new TikTok.
The new TikTok. Yes, we got a new TikTok. So please follow us on that.
It's Hesitation Station.
Yes, it should be. It's a green one instead of the colorful one. It's the green logo. I'm going to change it real soon to THS. That way people can know the difference. But I had to wait until July 31st to change it. So,
is it the.hesitation.station.podcast?
Does it have a bunch of colors with our logo on it? Like
yes.
A bunch of rainbow colors? Okay.
Yeah.
That is our old one.
Old one, okay.
Yeah. And the new one is like a greenish kind of thing on it. I don't know if that makes sense. Is it green?
I'm looking here real quick.
You made it. How do you not know?
I'm colorblind.
Is it basically the logo in the upper right here?
Yeah, it's the logo over here, but except it's just this like green swirl thing, kind of like a space thing.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
that's
cool.
It. Yep.
I'll have Chris send that to me.
Okay.
And I went ahead because I found that so funny, that story about the Vader running into a duck and giving a call in. I sent Chris a message. I don't know if he'll turn into one, but it would be hilarious if Duck Dodgers got hit.
Oh,
that'd be great.
What a great idea.
He mentioned Duck, and the first thing that popped in my mind was Daffy being I think I ran into a duck.
Just be like, yeah, I don't know. My corporal just told me he hit a duck and it's on my window. But yeah, guys, thank you guys again for coming on. We had a blast.
I greatly appreciate it.
Make sure you go follow these two right here. Make sure you go follow us on all of our new TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good jazz. And we will see y'all guys next episode. Peace out.
Awesome.
Deuces.
Yeah.